Hello there and welcome back to another reading. So today we're going to be looking into what makes you special? What are you bringing to this world? And I imagine you're coming here maybe because you're feeling a little lost, feeling a little confused, feeling a little down on yourself. And sometimes we all need just a little bit of validation, a little bit of self-assurance. So I will be posting this reading in a playlist with multiple other readings that will be covering this topic. So if this one doesn't resonate with you as you're listening to it, then you can go to that playlist and I will have other ones there that might resonate with you better. And if none of them resonate at that time, don't worry, I'll continue adding more to these playlists with these questions. So you can check down the line and see if there's one that resonates with you then. If you're finding, and I like to give this advice to everyone, but if you are finding that nothing is resonating with you, you're listening to everything, you're going from reading to reading, and everything just seems a little bit off, that is a sign that the work is not something you can do externally. It's not something you can find via readings. It's something that you're going to have to look for a different way, likely internally yourself. I know people don't want to hear that, but that usually is how that goes. Trust me, it's happened to me too. Not to say that these readings can't be helpful, but there are times when the universe is giving you signs that they're not. So just keep that in mind as you do any of these readings, pick a card or otherwise. So anyway, let's get started with this reading. If you chose the Radiant Wild Tarot, you probably saw this in the image and were drawn to it. This is the Radiant Wild Tarot. One of my favorites, and I think it's a great one to do for this question of what's so special about me? What am I bringing to this world? For some clarifiers, I'll also be using my Mystic Monday Tarot, little tiny one. This one's really nice and fun, kind of goes with the theme, the abstract vibe. I'll also be using my, oh my goodness, I always forget the name of it, Rebel Wild Oracle, something. Every time I always forget what this one's called. Sacred Rebel Oracle. I've had this one since the beginning. You'd think I'd know by now. And then I'll also be using my Viking Oracle as well. And I'm actually going to have to pull out the book to go with it because I don't know all of these, but they have some Viking related. I don't know. It felt right for this. And I have a bunch of other decks too that I might tap into depending on how this goes. So let me pull out my Viking Oracle book so I have it on hand. There you go. Awesome, and let's get started. All right, so what makes you special here, you guys? What are you bringing to this world? I kind of asked that question together because it's a relatively similar question, but I feel like that's going to give us I guess the better question really is, what am I bringing to this world? But I think that's, some people want to phrase it as, what makes me special? Which is a perfectly legitimate question. Oh, hello. See, when I picked this deck and it felt right, I kind of figured there's Fool energy here. And I don't know if you know anything about the Fool, but it's the start of a journey. So let's pull some more cards before I dig into what that actually means. Oh, hello. We've got some interesting. Okay, we got Five of Wands energy there. Five of Wands in this deck, I interpret a little bit differently sometimes. We will get to that. Oh goodness, things are just chaos in here. There's just too much chaos. What do you bring to this world? I'm sensing imagination. We'll get to that. We will get to that. Oh, chaos. Yeah, chaotic energy right off the bat, but I feel like there's nothing in there specifically that was meant to come out. It was just a symbol of the chaotic energy that you probably have to some degree. Okay. I feel like there's someone, I just get the sense that you are someone who wants to save the world. You are probably drawn to like superhero movies and stuff. Oh, the world. Get it? I said save the world and the world came out. Holy crap. No, absolutely. No, I feel like you're probably drawn to like superhero movies or movie where there's an underdog and that underdog comes out on top and saves people. And I get the sense that you're that kind of person. Like you have that kind of energy. You love superheroes. You love in a variety of ways. It doesn't have to be like Marvel, DC superheroes, but there's a lot of different kinds. I get that sense. There's so many major arcana here. Oh my God. No. Oh God. Oh, and this came with, okay. Woo. So let me just start with this. Let's start with this and then we'll pull some clarifiers to get more energy. But to start, like I was saying, first off, you're someone who really, really wants to save the world, right? You have this, I'll put it as savior complex to some degree. Like it doesn't necessarily mean save the world all the time, but like you see the problems really, really easily and you want to fix them. You want to fix them so badly. You take these burdens on yourself. You are determined to make your life have some meaning. I think you really want to go on this, like, for some reason I think of the Fool energy and I see all of this and I think of that, like, that part in The Hobbit, if you've ever seen it, where Bilbo's running around being like, I'm going on an adventure. Like, I feel like to some degree, like, you want that. Like, you want to go on an adventure. And like, I really just get the sense of just so much goodness coming from him. Like, you want to make a difference so badly. You really want to make a difference. And what's interesting, because there's all this here. There's like wanting to save the world, taking on a lot of burdens for yourself because you feel that, you really want to do this. There's so many changes you want to make. There's so many things you want to do, whether you're actually doing them or not. But I feel that you are a very strong person. You can take on so many burdens that a lot of people probably can't. And maybe you don't know this about yourself. You just think it's normal. That you think it's just totally normal that you're carrying all these burdens just casually on your day-to-day. Like, no problem. This is just what I do. Just every day, chip on my shoulder. I'm kidding. But I feel like you're just a really strong person, and people see that of you, and they think that you're obviously totally okay and perfectly willing to take on more because I don't feel like you show it to them. I feel like you kind of keep that part to yourself. It almost feels like you're generally really kept to yourself. Like, outwardly, maybe people see you as a really bright and positive person, and inwardly you kind of keep a lot of these dreams and these plans and these ideas and the burden to kind of yourself for the most part. I feel like that's kind of what you're doing here. Yeah, and I think the moon kind of says that too. Like, there's this weird illusion around who you are. Like, again, people don't see the two sides of you. And I think, and I see this, so this is what I was talking about when I said I don't interpret 5 of Wands in this deck the same as I do in others. I see collaboration. Like, you can kind of interpret it the same, but I see this as like, when there's conflict, when there's a struggle and there's a problem, you can find a solution. Like, you have the ability to find a way to work with people to find a solution, or you're open, you're really willing to do that. Like, you want to do that. Even if you, like, people around you don't want to collaborate, you that's what you want to do, and you're willing to work with people to do that. You thrive in that kind of environment. No, for sure. Like, I feel like your purpose in this world is very big. Like, you have a big purpose, and that doesn't mean, again, you're going to literally change the world. Like, don't take it like that. Don't put that burden on your shoulders. Because I feel like sometimes you see bad things happening and shit going down, and you really want to be like, okay, I want to make a change here. I want to do something about it. And I think what you bring more than anything is strength. You bring optimism, right? And you bring this awareness of the world. You bring this caring for the world and this ability to, I guess, not give up on it. I think that's what I'm kind of seeing. I'm seeing this isn't just you like taking on burdens necessarily. Like maybe to some degree it is, but what it really is and what it started out as is you not giving up. Like you're willing to start this journey and live your life and take on burdens because you're not someone who quits, right? Like at the end of the day, even if it feels like you're sometimes a quitter of certain things, the little quitting things are fine. Like that's not the quit. Like you have not given up on your fight for life and for the world and for the people that you love. Like you are not a quitter. You bring to the world this like never ending just vision of what could be. And I'm gonna kind of clarify. I'm really curious because this energy to me is really interesting. Let's pull a few more and see what we have here. Now this is such good energy, by the way, guys. Like I think it really matches with this deck too. Like so if you pick this deck, I think like if you picked it because of this deck, I truly think that you're probably in the right place. There we go. Yeah, decisions. We're gonna keep going on this because let's think about that a little bit. What do you bring to the world? Okay, yeah. So I was getting a lot of this like fiery, fast-moving energy, and now we're getting into the nitty-gritty here. You are, in many ways, I'm trying to think of the best way to frame this. I'm not reading this as a decision thing. I'm reading this as this Two of Swords here, as you can see both sides of the situation, or all sides. I don't know why I'm reading it that way, but I'm seeing it as like you are pretty self-aware. And I think you know to some degree where you fall in the situation, whether it's somewhere in the middle or whether it's somewhere on the spectrum or somewhere else, right? I think that's where that comes in. I really feel like you're someone who's pretty good at like capturing the sides of the situation and understanding where you stand. And this is why you have such like a strong views on things sometimes, right? Because I think you've really just gotten to the truth of it to some degree. And this doesn't mean it's always, the only way to look at things. Like you will run into situations where maybe you find out you were wrong, but I think that you're really good at that, at deciding where you stand on something. And that's how you know, like, this is how I want to change the world, right? I also feel that you are a pretty practical person, all in all. Like at the end of the day, like you understand, this is where I think some of the all sides thing, I think you understand that it's not like this whole, like, I want to make a difference thing is not simple. Again, this is why you've taken on so much burden for yourself, and why I think you're maybe this is why you're here too, because you feel like if things are going so slow, you're not really making any progress, or people are doing things that like you don't think makes sense. And I think that's because you are a practical person. You understand the practicalities behind doing all these great things, right? So it's almost like this two-sidedness. Like I see a really fiery, like amped up person who just has this vision for the world and these awesome ideas and has the ability really to collaborate with people and wants to collaborate with people and is willing to not give up on this, but also understands that there are sides. There's a practical side of this, and some things are going to take time, and is willing to, again, put in some of the work to do this. And again, if you're here, maybe there's a chance that like you kind of feel stuck in this, like you don't know what to do. But then again, I think what you bring to the world is this perspective, like this, and because what's kind of funny here is I'm not actually seeing a lot of action necessarily, but I think there can be action. There can be action here, and you maybe have changed things more than you realize just with your perspective. Because what we need, sometimes what we need people who are willing to talk about these things, or are willing to discuss, are willing to just even understand. And I think you have that perspective on things. So you do have the ability to take the action and to be a part of it, whether you realize it or not right now. No, yeah, I'm seeing a very just like good perspective here. Don't give up on yourself here. The Empress. Yes, more major arcana. We've got the Empress here. Just, I'm going to pull another one. Think about that for a moment too. This is kind of like a different energy to some degree. Like I see someone who can appreciate the little things sometimes. Like I do think there's probably a side of you that can get really caught up in these burdens, but I don't know how to put this, but I definitely see a side that can just enjoy, like, again, this optimism that kind of came with it, and can, again, enjoy some of the joys and happinesses in life, and wants to take others there too. Like maybe you sometimes feel guilty about it, like you enjoying some of the little things, and like you probably think more than others about how others don't have that, or don't have some of these things that you're grateful for, that you are enjoying. And you would love if everyone could, if you could create a world where others could also enjoy these things. I don't know, I get that kind of sense from this. And again, very, very kind of fiery, impatient energy to some degree. Like you want things to happen quickly. Like, even though you understand there's the practical side, I also get like, you are ready to move. I think you're ready to move. You're ready to move forward. This is what I really, like, honestly, I honestly think that what makes you special here is you're not only just a caring person. I'm not just getting someone who like truly cares, but I'm getting someone who like sees the world from a point of view where you're like, I want everyone in the world to enjoy this. I want everyone in the world to enjoy things. I want to help carry their burdens. I want to be helpful, right? I think that's the real thing. I want to be helpful. Like, I want to save people, like, from whatever like bad things are going on to them, and I want to bring them with me, and I want us all to have this great, fantastic world and life, right? And again, I do think there's multiple sides of you here. There's you kind of keep some of these things to yourself internally, and some people might not see you in this way, or they might see you as someone who is totally happy-go-lucky and just not worried about anything. But like, there's this whole side of you that I think maybe a lot of people don't realize about you, or maybe they do, and maybe the other side of you is there's something that other people aren't really seeing of you right now. And so that's maybe the advice here, as you're like, as we're talking about this, is like, maybe it's time to now bring that out of the shadows, whatever it is, whether it's the burdens that are being placed on you maybe unfairly, or and so you can free yourself up to actually do some of these things, or maybe it's just simply communicating the things that matter to you. Maybe you've been in your head about them, right? But yeah, I think this is such powerful energy here. And I don't know, you just feel like this feels to me like such a positive and go-getter force. And I get the feeling that you might not express yourself as a go-getter, but there's a part of you internally that is very much a go-getter. Like, I don't know why I get that feeling, but I'm really getting that feeling of like, maybe you're someone who on the outside or to other people is like more quiet, more unassuming, a little more agreeable, can even possibly be a people pleaser, all that kind of stuff. But then like maybe you're more like that, or you're just kind of like, or you don't really talk much about the things you believe in, or something like that. And then on the inside, you're just like passion, want to be hero, maybe someone can relate to me on this, but I know I can sometimes do this kind of thing where I'll like put music on, put my headphones on in my room, I'm by myself, and I start playing like epic music, and I'll pretend I'm in like this epic battle. And I still do this to this day, by the way. And you kind of just like create this story where you're the hero, right? And you save people. And maybe you do something like that, or you have this fantasy of saving people because you are the kind of person who, again, really cares. You want to save people. You want to bring people into this utopia almost. Like you want people to be happy so badly. You want people to enjoy the things that you enjoy. You probably walk on the streets and see, someone who's homeless, or you see someone struggling or whatever it is, and you probably feel bad for them and really want to help. Maybe sometimes you do stop and help and take that burden on yourself, right? Like, I feel like you are that kind of person. You are just so caring and want to help everyone so badly. Like, so badly. And that is such a nice trait because, to be frank, not everyone does. A lot of people don't. A lot of people only think about themselves, for better or for worse. But I definitely find that, I feel like you have something there that others don't. You have this awareness of the world and of who's struggling and of the problems and really are dying to help. Maybe you just need an opportunity to. You're just looking for the right opportunity to help. What is already with you? Ooh, we'll get to that in a second. What is already with you? I'm getting the sense here that I think we kind of talked about this, but you probably struggle with feeling like you're special in any way, right? And I feel like maybe you've kind of hidden these things, and you kind of feel like this internal you just doesn't really feel real. It's all just fake. This isn't really you. Like you're so scared to actually go out and do things. But I think what's interesting is that all that I'm reading about you is that you already have what it takes to be this hero. You really do. Like you absolutely have it. It exists within you. There's nothing new that needs to change about you. Maybe you've had this image of you with a different personality going forth, but I don't think you need to change your personality to achieve this. It's already with you. You already have what you need. What's that line? And I think I added something onto it. It's everything you want is on the other side of fear, and everything you need is right here. Powerful stuff. Yeah. So, let's see. If we get another. Ooh, this one's sticking out to me. I don't know why. What you want wants you. Yes, absolutely. You're in a place right now where, I think, again, you kind of feel like maybe, you've been kind of struggling maybe a little bit. And you've been maybe feeling like no matter how hard you try, what you want just isn't going to happen, or what you desire, this thing you desire just isn't going to happen, but it wants you. Like, if you're drawn to this for any reason and you're doubting it, or you're like sitting here and you're just like, yeah, but it's not going to happen. What you want wants you. It wants you to chase it. It wants you to come after it. And you might even find that you don't have to do all that much chasing at the end of the day. I think, again, what makes you special here is that you've had innately this ability. You've had this within you. You are internally a hero. You are a hero type. Absolutely. Go ahead and watch those hero movies. Go ahead and watch all the struggles they go through, and the downs and the parts where people start doubting them, people hate them, people ignore them, right? Or they fail or whatever. And remember that that's part of the hero's journey as well, right? You have this hero energy within you. You have what it takes. You are ready and want to carry these burdens for people, and you want to help them. And you have that. You have already what it takes. Now it's just doing the things that will actually help them. And, you're in a special place right now where your goals are, how do I put this? I'm trying to put this in the right way. You know how some people want things that are unattainable? Well, what you want is attainable. And I know that can seem really weird when you're someone who wants to save the world, right? But I think you'd be surprised with if you put this heart that you have towards this. I think you'd be surprised what you can achieve and how what you're desiring is waiting for you. It's literally waiting for you to do something. It wants you so badly. Acting like it's a lover or something, right? We're not gonna bother with this. I was gonna try and make it more symmetrical, but oh, hello. Uruz. Okay, we have Uruz here. Let's read what that one's about. Let's find out. It really popped out. It like had a thing. The card number 2, by the way, if 2 means anything to you. Build personal, I don't know if I'll show it to you so you can read it too. Build personal power ethically from the inside out. Endurance and resilience are important now. Our will can change our fate. It can forge a path where there is none. Look to your health and vitality, for these may need healing. Yeah, I mean, you are... By the way, this is a rune, I believe. I think Uruz is actually one of the runes, not necessarily one of the people, if I recall correctly. And this is a... How do I put this? First of all, it's element of earth and fire. So we already had a lot of fire kind of here. At least it felt like fire to me, and earth. So there was that. And to me, I'm kind of feeling like this, what you have, again, it's kind of confirming that you gotta endure and be resilient, right? We talked about how heroes struggle, and you're going through that, or you're starting to go through it, or you're going to continue to go through it. And that's part of this journey to what you want. But I think you will find that this is like, again, this journey is worth it, right? Yeah, I love this. I am the flowing force of life, the focus, the blood pulsing, the oats being sown, the uncontrolled wildness, tenacious and not quite polished. I am a ruse. I'm reading this as you are imperfect. And you know what? I think this imperfect love that you have, and oh, that made me think of something. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can read this. Where'd it go? Aha, here it is. This just made me think of the true definition of love, right? And I want to read this too, because I feel like this is powerful. It's like, people don't like love. They like that flirty feeling. They don't love love. Love is sacrificial. Love is ferocious. It's not emotive. There's more to that, but what I get from that is like, immediately it made me think of that part. Love is sacrificial. Love is ferocious. I think your love for people and for the world and for, getting people to this vision, for this vision of yours, it isn't that flirty feeling. It's harsh, right? It feels harsh. It's something that you're willing to sacrifice for. It's something ferocious, right? It's tied to emotion at the end of the day, but like you're not sitting here like trying to feel that little, emotional feeling. Like you have things that want to be done, right? And you want to take care of people. I don't know. This is the feeling I'm getting. Like, this is what your love is. And that's what as soon as I was talking about love, it made me think of that. Like, this is the kind of love that you have. You are an imperfect love. And that is powerful. That is powerful, because a polished, perfect love isn't wild. It isn't hard enough to make these changes, as harsh as that can sound to other people. But, yeah, so that's kind of how I am seeing that, right? Let me pull another card. Ooh, there's a dog in the background. I'm going to pull a crystal. These are the crystal oracle cards. Liquid crystal oracle is what it's called, I believe. God, there's like chaos going on right now. Like, to me, this feels like I hear like a siren in the background too. There was noise out there in my living room, so I'm getting this just just this like wild feeling. Like I feel like you're just kind of like innately like a wild person in some way. Like that's what you want, to like run free, be wild, take people on this journey. Yeah, I love this. The Herkimer diamond. I don't even know if I pronounced that right, but oneness. You know what's kind of beautiful about this? There's a purity to this, first of all. Like there's this, you know, we talked about like rough and untamed. I'm thinking of this like a very pure energy comes from you. I feel like in many ways, like you are the world. Like maybe this came up. Like I feel like what makes you special and what makes you so powerful is you are the world. You're like the physical embodiment of this earth crying out and wanting to save the people on it. It's like, you know, it kind of like, I get this feeling that like you maybe you've lived many past lives here and you're really tied to the earth or something, or you were sent here, a starseed sent here, like whatever you believe in personally. But you know, I just get the sense you are the world, weeping, crying for the earth and its people and its animals and everything on it, and wanting so badly to help save all of it. And you know, I think this oneness is bringing people together, bringing everything together, people, animals, the earth. Like I almost feel like you have like this utopia, like beautiful vision of what the world could be. And it's such a beautiful and pure energy that you have here. And I don't know if you realize how beautiful and pure that is. Yeah, we're gonna stop there because this energy it's really overwhelming to me, to be honest. And I feel like I can just keep repeating this over and over again, and I'll just keep saying the same things. But yeah, honestly, like, guys, I don't know what sent you here. I don't know what made you doubt yourself if you are here, but I hope that you know that you have such a pure, wonderful power. And to be honest, I don't think this reading is going to resonate with absolutely everyone. And it might not. It really might not. Or maybe it will. I don't know. I don't really think this energy is going to resonate with absolutely everyone, but for the people it does resonate with, I want you to know that you really do have such a special and pure power that most people and many people in this world do not have. And you might be struggling right now with feeling like bringing that energy out of you and bringing that power out of you and actually using it to enact some of this change and be that hero. But we need you in this world to help save parts of it. You're not gonna be able to do it all by yourself. Remember, this is a collaborative thing. You're willing to work with others. So maybe your first step is getting with others who see things the way you do. And from there, you can collaboratively do this stuff together. And because, you know, the hero doesn't have to work alone. I know we see that in movies and all of that, but they really do not have to work alone as much as you might think that's how heroes usually work. They don't. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope you go out there and really just bring this power into and energy into the world. And again, if you made it this far and this just really didn't resonate with you, I will be posting more readings in this playlist. So hope to see you in another reading. Bye.